Welcome, my fellow seekers of success, to another electrifying episode. I'm Tracy Brinkmann, your guide through the labyrinth of personal development, self-help, and all things success related. But today, we're not just talking about success. No, we're delving into something mysterious, something that can change the very course of your journey. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted forest, ready to embark on a life-changing journey. The air is thick with anticipation, and the path ahead is obscured by uncertainty. But before you take that first leap into the wilderness, you encounter a mysterious guide. They step out of the shadows, and they offer to lead you through this unexplored terrain. That guide, my friends, is what we call a transitional relationship. Now, you might be wondering, what's the deal with these transitional relationships? How can they hold the key to my personal and professional and entrepreneurial growth? Well, hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because today we're diving deep into the forest of transitional relationships. We're going to uncover their secrets, we're going to understand their purpose, and we're going to reveal why they matter more than you might think. So get ready, because at the end of this journey, you're going to have a whole new perspective on the people who come into your life and then seem to disappear. We're about to unravel the mystery, my friends. So stay with me and let's explore the intriguing world of transitional relationships together.
Welcome to Your Success DNA podcast, the go-to resource for entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals who are ready to level up their lives. Your Success DNA podcast. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to create the life that you truly want. We will be sharing tips, tricks, and mindset shifts that you need to achieve your wildest dreams. Remember, your success is in your DNA.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast, the epicenter of personal development, self-help, whether it's personal, professional, entrepreneurial, and that relentless pursuit of personal as well as entrepreneurial success. I'm Tracy Brinkmann, your navigator on this journey through the uncharted territories of entrepreneurial and personal growth. And today, as I mentioned, as you already are well aware, we're embarking on a voyage that will challenge the way you view the people who enter into your life, make an impact, and then it seems like they vanish into thin air. We're diving headfirst into the enigmatic world of transitional relationships. You see, these relationships, they're like the unsung heroes of our personal, professional, and entrepreneurial evolution. They may not always stick around, but they still carry profound lessons. They still catalyze our growth, and they quite often open completely new doors and new horizons. Now, let's kick things off with a wisdom bomb dropped by an ancient philosopher, Socrates himself. He once said, "Be slow to fall into friendship, but when thou art in, continue firm and constant." Wise words indeed. Today, we're going to apply this wisdom to the concept of transitional relationships, and you'll see how relevant this is to your life, your personal life, your professional life, and your entrepreneurial life. So, my friends, fasten your seatbelts, prepare yourself to traverse the fascinating terrain of transitional relationships. These encounters may be brief, as I've mentioned, but their impact can be monumental. All right, stay around, don't go nowhere. I want you to stay around here because at the end of this episode, I want to make sure you're armed with insights to recognize, insights to appreciate, and the power to harness the power of these relationships in your journey towards the success that you dream, desire, and deserve. All right, let's kick off this expedition into the world of transitional relationships by first stepping back into time. Yeah, we're going to go way back to ancient Greece, into the heart of Athens, where lived a philosopher whose wisdom transcends centuries. Yeah, I've already mentioned him. I'm talking about the legendary Socrates. I want you to picture this, my friends. Athens, 400 BC. The city is the hub of philosophical inquiry and intellectual exchange. Socrates was at the forefront of all of it. He wasn't just a thinker. No. He was a seeker of truth as well as being a connoisseur of human nature. Now, let me whisk you away to a bustling Athenian marketplace where Socrates often engaged in spirited conversations here. It's said that Socrates believed in the power of friendship, but at the same time, he was very cautious in forming bonds. He once advised, as I mentioned in the quote I gave you, be slow to fall into friendship, but when thou art in, continue firm and constant. Socrates understood the value of authentic, enduring relationships. He knew that these connections, while they forged slowly and they nurtured over time, they were like precious gems. They provided stability, they provided support, and quite often the wisdom necessary in an unpredictable world. So, think of the genuine relationships as the sturdy branches of a mighty oak. They're deeply rooted. They go way down so they can withstand and be unwavering in all of life's storms, metaphorical and real, right? They're the ones who stand by your side through thick and thin. They are your ride or die, in my opinion. They offer shade in the scorching heat that may come down, and they offer shelter in the rain of life. Socrates' wisdom reminds us that while we explore the transient nature of transitional relationships, we must never, ever once overlook the enduring value of true friends. They are the very bedrock upon which we should be building our lives. So, as we navigate the landscapes of transitional relationships in the modern world, let's carry Socrates' wisdom with us, shall we? It's time to venture further into the heart of this intriguing topic. You want to come along with me? Of course you do. That's why you're here. That's why you haven't fast-forwarded, paused, or stopped by now. Because there's much more to uncover on this journey. Now, my driven success seekers, we've taken the first steps, right? We stepped into the forest of transitional relationships, and it's time to shine a spotlight on those who are our guiding stars of our lives, our great friends. Yeah. They are, right? I can feel you. You should be nodding your head right now. I don't care what else you're doing. If you're driving, you're nodding your head, not to music, but you're nodding. You're like, you're right. My great friends, they're huge. I want you to imagine your life as a rocket ship hurtling towards the cosmos of possibilities.
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success
Now,
is in your DNA.
Picture great friends as those fiery boosters strapped onto that rocket, propelling you forward with boundless energy and unfettered determination. They are your life's rocket fuel, my friends. Your friends are your life's rocket fuel. Now, let me share a story that illustrates the incredible impact of great friends. Let's talk about Sarah. Now, Sarah was an inspiring entrepreneur with a dream that seemed to be as vast as the sky. You see, she had this grand vision, but she lacked the courage to ignite the engines of her ambition. Well, that's when her friend Michael came into the scene. He saw that spark in her eye, that glimmer of hope. Ooh, right? He felt that passion in her heart, and he said, Sarah, you have got what it takes. Let's launch this dream together. With Michael's unwavering support, Sarah's rocket of dreams shot right straight towards the stars. And he became her co-pilot. He became her confidant and his relentless motivator. Through every obstacle, through every challenge, he was there fueling her with encouragement and belief. You see, my friends, great friends are the ones who see your potential long before you do. They see your potential even when you have just completely forgot about it. They are the wind beneath your wings. Please don't start singing a song, okay? They are the wind beneath your wings, the force that propels you to reach heights you never thought possible. I had one of these friends. His name was Robert. I always called him Robbie. He was my motivator. He was my co-pilot. He was my ride or die, literally. And he was my ever trustworthy confidant. We met when I was about 16. I believe he was 14. We were friends till the day he died just a few years ago. Yeah, he was younger than me and he passed away. And it didn't matter how many days, months, or in some cases even years we were apart. The moment we were back together again, it was like we were never apart. And I remember one thing he told me, and I joke about it time and again. I was getting ready to marry a woman, and I wanted him to be my best man. He said, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to be your best man. And we were going to go a couple of weekends. We were going to drive up to Vegas and get married. And after he said yes, we were all kind of celebrating the engagement and everything. And hey, Tracy, come out to the garage. I want to show you something. And we lived together in the same home. Myself, my oldest daughter, who was my only daughter at the time, and Robbie's wife and their 2 kids. Been friends ever since. So we go out to the garage, and Robbie pulls me aside. He goes, I'm going to say this because I'm your brother, I'm your friend, and I have to say it. And he says, you shouldn't marry this, insert expletive here, the B word. And I don't want to, I normally would say it, but I don't want to say it because I want to keep this G-rated for any of the younger folks listening, or if you're listening with younger folks whose ears are open. And, and I said, well, why? And he gave me his reasons, and they were valid. And I said, thank you, brother, I appreciate that, but, and I gave him my reasons, which was she was carrying my child, and, I wanted to do the right thing. Now, as the years went on, Robbie, before we left the garage, he said, it's okay, I just had to say it, and I'll never mention it again. The years go on, I get married, and turmoil ensues in the marriage, which did last long enough for the children to grow up and leave the home. But it was awful. It shouldn't have happened. He was 100% right. And when we did finally divorce, one of the first things I did is I called him up. I was living out in Ohio, and he was down in Texas at the time. Called him up, and I said, okay, this is your chance to say I told you so. He goes, I said I'd never mention it again, right? That's the kind of people you want in your life. Those people that are willing to say the hard truths, and then if you choose not to listen, not hold it against you, right? So, as we navigate the concept of transitional relationships, let's remember the incredible impact of the great friends we have in our lives. They're the ones who stay with us through thick and thin, through lighting up the darkest of the nights for us, right? Through the ups, through the downs, the rights, the lefts. And they also help us celebrate those brightest of days. Now, our journey here is going to continue deeper into the force of transitional relationships, but I want us to carry with us the recognition that great friends are the celestial forces that guide us through this intricate terrain. That is our life. That is our business. That is everything that we're going through. But as always, there's so much more to explore on this path. Let's get into it. As we venture further into this intriguing forest I've put us in, it's time to shine a light on the stars of the show. Yeah. The transitional relationships. These are those guiding lights that flicker briefly, but shine brilliantly when we need them the most. Imagine this, my friends. You're at a crossroads in your life. I've done this one a couple of times. I just love it, okay? You're at a crossroads in your life. Perhaps it's a career change. It's a new entrepreneurial venture, some personal transformation, or maybe a moment of profound self-discovery. Whatever it is, the path ahead is foggy. It's uncertain, and you're just not sure which way to turn. In the midst of this uncertainty, you encounter someone completely unexpected, maybe like we introduced you to at the beginning of the show.
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success is in your DNA.
Someone completely unexpected, a mentor, a colleague, could be even a complete stranger who ends up becoming a friend. They step into your life like a beam of sunlight, piercing down through the clouds and the mist, offering guidance and clarity. That, my friends, is the essence of a transitional relationship. It's a connection that enters your life for a reason, and sometimes for a season. They're like this compass in the wilderness that help you navigate uncharted territories. So, let's define it. A transitional relationship is like that signpost on those crossroads of your journey. It's there to assist you to moving from where you are to where you want to go. And sometimes, probably more often than we'd like to admit, they need to move you from where you are to where you need to go. Why? Because they are the experts. They are the mentors. They are the catalysts that help you cross the bridges, pick yourself up, overcome obstacles, or sometimes even help you break through the obstacles. let's think of those transitional relationships as the Sherpas of your life's Everest climb. Yeah, that's probably a really good way to look at it. They're here to share their wisdom, offer their support, and guide you through the treacherous terrains. But remember, once you've reached your destination, they may no longer be needed. Yeah, that's a wicked thought. So what do they do? Quite often they move on. And you'll see as we venture deeper into the forest, I want us to keep our eyes open for these guiding stars, these transitional relationships, because like I mentioned, they are the mentors, the allies, the co-pilots who appear when you need them most. And just like that, they fade off into the horizon. However, their impact remains etched in your heart, in your soul, and if nothing else, on your journey forever. Right? All right, let's continue our exploration. The mysteries of transitional relationships are waiting to be unveiled. And yep, you guessed it. There's so much more to discover as we delve deeper into this fascinating terrain, into this sometimes deep, dark forest. So let's continue our thrilling expedition through this deep, dark forest of transitional relationships. Now, it's time to uncover the very essence behind these connections, and that is their purpose. Here we go again. Picture this, my fellow entrepreneurs. You're on that winding trail. Maybe it's that Everest trail. Maybe it's just that crossroad you've moved past. But you're on that winding mountain trail, and your goal is a breathtaking summit. But between you and that pinnacle of success lies a series of crucial stepping stones, each one leading you closer to your destination. These stepping stones, my friends, are what we call transitional relationships. They are the catalysts, they are the game changers, and they are the propellers of our journey. Let me share a story here to help illustrate their purpose. Let's talk about John. John was a talented artist with dreams being as vast as his canvases. You see, he had the skills, he had the passion. What he lacked was the exposure. That's when he met Sandra. Now, Sandra was an art gallery owner. Sandra, a transitional relationship, recognized John's potential and offered him the chance of a lifetime, a solo exhibit in her gallery. This opportunity catapulted John's career way beyond his expectations to new heights. Now, yeah, Sarah got something out of it too, but she recognized his potential and was a stepping stone for him. You see, transitional relationships serve as these bridges, the opening of doors, the launch pads to our aspirations. They're the ones who step into our lives at just the right moment, opening up those opportunities that may have been completely veiled to us. Think of them, like I said earlier, think of them as those crucial stepping stones on your path to success. Each one takes you closer to your goals, offering support, offering guidance, and offering a helping hand when you need it most. That's when. Okay? Now, let's go a little deeper into the forest. But keep in mind that transitional relationships are not mere chance encounters. No. They are rather perhaps this orchestration by the universe, by God, by Allah, by Mother Nature, or whoever you believe in to help us evolve, transform, and ascend way beyond the heights we can even imagine. As our quest to unravel the mysteries of transitional relationships continues, we're about to explore a unique role in our lives that they play and discover how they can really shape our destiny. Yeah, right? You ready? Hold on, here we go. Now, again, we're back into that captivating force of transitional relationships. And again, it's time to embrace a truth that's as natural as the changing seasons. These connections are, by their very nature, by their very wording, temporary. Here we go again. Imagine this, my fellow travelers. You're in the midst of a glorious summer. You're basking in the warmth of a transitional relationship. It's served its purpose. It's guiding you through challenges, and it's imparting upon you valuable lessons. But as the next season, autumn, approaches, you begin to notice a change in the air. Yeah. Let me share a story to illustrate what I'm talking about is going to be an inevitable evolution. Maria was another young entrepreneur who formed a pivotal transitional relationship with a seasoned business owner, we'll call him Mark. For months, they collaborated, they shared insights, and they tackled obstacles together. However, as Maria's business grew and evolved, her needs shifted. The once essential guidance from Mark became less and less relevant. Their relationship naturally transitioned as a result of this, not into a breakup per se, but into a friendship based on mutual respect.
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success is in your DNA.
This, my friends, is the ebb and flow, the changing of the seasons of transitional relationships. Because just like the seasons, they change, they evolve. They may not always accompany you on your entire journey, but they leave behind valuable gifts. They leave behind valuable lessons, insights, and growth. The key takeaway here is that change is the fundamental part of life. It's no different in the realm of relationships. I don't care what it is you're going through in life, whether it's a rocky divorce, like I mentioned earlier, a rocky relationship you're going into or coming out of. You're trying to make yourself a better person. You're trying to build a business. You're just trying to make a happy family. Whatever it might be, it's no difference in the realm of relationships. As we continue to explore the transitional relationship, let's embrace the impermanence and the appropriate profoundness of the wisdom that they bring as they come in and out of our lives. All right, now, man, there's so much more to discover here in this ever-changing landscape. We're about to uncover lesser-known steps and maybe a couple of hidden gems of transitional relationships as we continue on here. Good gosh, we're already 20-some minutes into this here. So let's dive a little deeper into that forest, shall we? It's time to unveil a golden nugget of wisdom. A tip that can transform the way you navigate every connection in your life. You ready for it, my fellow adventurers? Here we are. Here's today's Tracy's top tip. Told you I was going to put this in a future episode. I'm going to keep it around until you say, Tracy, it sucks. I don't like it. In every relationship, be it fleeting or lifelong, focus on giving as well as extracting the maximum value. I want you to treat every interaction as both an opportunity to learn, to give, and to grow. Let me break it down for you. You see, my friends, every relationship, whether it lasts for a moment or a lifetime, every relationship carries the potential for growth, carries potential for enlightenment. It's all about your perspective. Imagine every interaction as a treasure chest waiting to be opened. Because that's what it is, right? Inside, you're going to find gems of wisdom, lessons to be learned, and insights that can and will shape every step of your journey forward. Think of it as panning for gold in the river of life. Ooh, I like that. It rolls right off the tongue. Think of it as panning for gold in the river of life. Each relationship, no matter how brief, is like a glimmering speck of that gold dust. Might not seem like much. Kind of seems quite small, actually. But as you gather more, and then you gather enough, it becomes a treasure of immeasurable value. Yeah, okay? So, whether you're engaging with a lifelong friend or just a passing acquaintance, I want you to seize the opportunity to give in order to extract that value. Ask questions, listen intently, and embrace the lessons that each encounter brings. And with this top tip in your arsenal, I think you're equipped to make the most of every connection, to learn with every transitional relationship comes in and out of your life, and to grow in ways that you never thought possible. Now, as we start exiting the other side of our transitional relationship forest, and you're armed with Tracy's top tip, I think you're now equipped with a powerful mindset that will enable you to make the most out of each and every one of your encounters. And with that, we are coming to the end of what I'm hoping you believe was a thrilling expedition through our forest of self-discovery as we made our way through the forest of transitional relationships. We've journeyed through the shadows of uncertainty, guided by the wisdom of Socrates, who encouraged us to treasure our genuine, long-lasting friendship. We soared to great heights, propelled by the rocket fuel of our great friends. Yep, all those folks that light up our lives and catalyze our success. We've navigated the intricate terrain of transitional relationships, recognizing them as the guiding stars that they are, that appear when we need them most. And we've embraced the impermanence of these connections, understanding that like the changing seasons, relationships evolve. And remember, in every relationship, whether fleeting or lifelong, there is an opportunity to extract value and grow and to give. Always remember to give. Never take more than you give. So, as we trend towards the end of our expedition and we come out the other side of our forest, let's carry these insights with us, shall we? Let's treasure our friends. Let's recognize the role of transitional relationships. Heck, let's recognize the role that we might be a transitional relationship to someone else and embrace the change that is an inherent part of life's journey. The forest of transitional relationships is vast, my friends, and our exploration really has just scratched the surface. But armed with this knowledge, armed with appreciation, and a growth-oriented mindset, I think you're well prepared to navigate its many twists and turns, its stumbles, its bumbles, its falls, its face plants. So, stay curious, stay open, and continue seeking the wisdom that each of your relationships bring. Your success and your personal growth are intimately tied to your ability to learn and to give to each connection, whether it's brief or enduring. But, hey, wait, don't go anywhere yet. Before we part ways, my fellow success seekers, I have an important call to action for you. First and foremost, I want to hear from you. Visit our website. The link's down in the show notes. Share your thoughts about transitional relationships, whether it's a moment that changed your life or a lesson that you learned, your experiences. I think they can inspire not just me, but quite a few of the others that listen in on their journey. And don't stop there. Go ahead and ask your burning question, whatever it might be. Suggest future podcast topics. That was a great idea. I love hearing from you. And let your voice be heard, because after all, this podcast is for you. And your input, I want it to fuel the content. Lastly, if you found any value in today's episode, and I hope you have, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Your support helps us reach more people just like you and continue to provide insightful and inspiring content. So, my friend, let's stay connected on this incredible journey. Visit yoursuccessdna.com. Share your stories, ask your questions, and keep seeking the success that you desire, you dream of, and you deserve. Again, links down in the show notes. As the sun sets on our expedition, my friends, know that the journey of self-discovery continues. Until next time, keep striving for success, keep growing, and keep valuing every relationship that shapes your incredible journey. Think successfully and take action.
Thanks for listening to Your Success DNA podcast. Whether you're starting out or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, we have the tools and inspiration that you need to take your life to the next level. So stay tuned for more game-changing advice in our upcoming episodes. And hey, before you go, a quick reminder to check out our past episodes of Your Success DNA for more inspiring stories and practical advice. And if you've loved what you heard, leave us a review and share this podcast with your friends and colleagues. Let's all level up our lives together, shall we? Remember, your success is in your DNA.